Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. So, I just found this book the other day. This is the second book. My lighting's kind of bad right here, man. Let me see if I can turn it on. So this is the second book in the series, The Wheel of Time I was talking about. This is they changed the cover. The original cover is more like a comic book, but yeah, this is book 2 called The Great Hunt. And so I kind of I saw it and I was like, I already made a video about it. Let's just see kind of what page I happen to turn to. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and read the paragraph. I get drawn to like the bottom left-hand corner. That's just where my eyes go automatically. And then from there, I'll kind of feel out where I feel drawn to. And that's where I'll start. So right here we have, well, it's gonna be hard for you guys to understand this because you don't. So anyway, the Dragon Reborn is the name that they've labeled Rand, who is the one who they think is he's been reborn as the dragon's what they refer to as like kind of like a Christ type character, somebody that's going to help defeat the evil one, the Dark Lord, who's in control of all the dark forces and that's plaguing the land. And so there's a prophecy that the Dragon Reborn will be reborn again. That's the Dragon Reborn, and he'll defeat the Dark Lord, and he'll be a male, and he'll be able to wield enough of the male force, long enough, but it also drives him crazy. Like he's done this a couple of times throughout history. Like this book goes back into the past, and he'll go back to past lives to where he actually lost his mind, and he also ends up like killing like his lovers, and like he loses his mind, like he goes crazy. That's what this power really does to you. That's why this book is really, it tells a lot of the truth to what's going on in the world today, in my opinion. So anyway, but that happened in the past, and the book is taking place in a time when, it's a very long series. It has over, I think it has 11 series, and there's still, the author actually died. He didn't complete the series, and another author took over it, try to finish it up, but it still has yet to get to the last battle, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't really kept up on where it is and everything, but from where I left off, it was book 11, and they were still working on getting to the last battle. But anyway, so with that being said, when I talk about the Dragon Reborn, that's referring to the character, the male character. His name is Rand, who came back to fight the Dark One and defeat evil, but in doing so, he has to deal with going crazy and tapping into the male force and what that does to you, and learning how to control that. And it's very complex. Like he goes through a whole, like there's this other race of humans called the other species or other version of human beings that are called the Ao, which live on the wasteland, and they're very much like Native Americans. And he ventures over there and he finds out that he actually comes from them, and they do a lot of spiritual rituals, and they have this whole world where they go, where they teach you how to deal with it's really shadow work when you think about it. It's very interesting. So anywho, he leaves back there and he learns how to control himself, tame himself, and then from there we still have yet to see what comes, but he's the one who's prophesized to be able to defeat the Dark One because nobody else has the power. But this paragraph talks about him in contrast to the females. So since the females have realized that the males have all this power and that it's tainted and that they end up destroying everything, they've then decided to outlaw males' ability to use the power and have also created their own organization of women sorcerers, essentially, who rule the whole world. And there's queens all over the place, and it's known that the Aes Sedai, they have their own government. They're everywhere. They're all over the place, and they watch over things kind of like how Jedis do, I guess, except it's all females. And they actually have, females are the practitioners of the magic. They have male warriors that guard them called warders, but they don't practice magic. They get healed from their the woman magicians who they're protecting, but they actually don't have any magic of their own that they cast out. They're imbued with it, but they don't cast it, if that makes sense. So anyway, let me go ahead and read this paragraph and stop talking. No, and I suppose we would, when the time comes that we must face the Dragon Reborn, the Imrillian is the lead of the Aes Sedai. She's the queen of the whole woman sorcerer order. The Imrillian will need every sister, every accepted. The accepted is a lower class from the Aes Sedai. That would be like the difference between, like an Aes Sedai would be a full, like you're totally in, you've gotten your ranks, you're a member of this elite squad, and an accepted would be somebody who's initiate, like trying to get into the ranks, but they have a lot of promise, but they're still learning, they haven't completed, there's a test you have to go through in order to be an Aes Sedai, and then you get to pick your color, and all that. So the accepted are, and as an accepted, you've already picked a color too. So being an accepted is a high class in itself, but it's still not at the same level in Aes Sedai. All right, so. All right, we'll need every sister, every accepted, every novice, and the novice is below the accepted, who can light a candle unguided. So sorcery, lighting candles and stuff. Vandine's voice lowered, and she's one of the Aes Sedai, musing, with such power as he will wield, we must overwhelm him before he has a chance to use it against us, before he can go mad and destroy the world. Yet first we must let him face the Dark One. She laughed mirthlessly at the look on Moraine's face. Moraine's one of the Aes Sedai that's actually there to help Rand, who's the Dragon Reborn, and again, there's a lot of stuff you guys aren't going to be able to get. I am not a red. Reds are a particular color. They're very assertive and aggressive and warrior-like. The most warrior class of all of the colors of the Aes Sedai. I've studied the prophecies enough to know who dare not gentle him first. Gentling is when they subdue the male's powers. If we can gentle him, I know as well as you, as well as any sister who cares to find out, that the seals holding the Dark One in Sheol, that's a prison. It was an ancient city that was turned into a prison after a battle, and that's where they sealed the Dark One up. Are weakening, so the seals are weakening. That's holding him down there, similar to supernatural stuff too. The Alieners are, it's a city of Ilian, and so the Alieners are the citizens of that city, called the Great Hunt of the Horn. The Great Hunt of the Horn is when hunters go out hunting after monsters. There are a bunch of heroes that go out performing heroic deeds to help clean the land of evil. False dragons, so there's a lot of people that proclaim to be the Dragon Reborn, but are not the Dragon Reborn, very similar to Jesus Christ and a lot of the false prophets that proclaim they're Jesus. Abound, and two of them, Logian, that's one of the false prophets, and now this fellow in Saldaea, able to channel. I think they're talking about Rand, who's actually the real Dragon Reborn. When was the last time the Reds found two men channeling in less than a year? When did they last find one in 5 years? So it's been rare. Like, they've actually gotten a really good job of eradicating the male's ability to channel the etheric force. But now they're seeing that there's two in the span of 1 year when there hadn't been like one in 5 years. So times are changing. The vibrations of the planet are changing. And this is also prophecies that are leading to the last battle, which is what this book is about. It's also similar to what's going on in today's time, in my opinion. All right, so not in my lifetime, and I am a good deal older than you. The signs are everywhere. Tarmon Gideon is coming, and that's what they call like the apocalypse, the last battle. They call it Tarmon Gideon is coming. The Dark One will break free, and the dragon will be reborn. Her cup rattled as she set it down. I suppose that is why I feared you might have seen some sign of him. He will come, Moraine said smoothly, and he will do what must be done. And again, Moraine's kind of the one that's been in charge to handle him, essentially. But she's mixed up because she's working for the Imrillion, who's the queen of the Aes Sedai, but the queen's all about making sure that the male force doesn't go crazy. So they're all about controlling him, but they also know that they can't defeat the Dark One without him. So they're trying to manipulate his ass to get him to defeat the Dark Lord, but then also be able to contain him so that he can't destroy the whole world. But Moraine's kind of mixed up because she's getting to know this dude, Rand. He's like, oh, he's not a bad dude. He's actually got a real pure heart. He's trying to do good. He's got a lot of power, doesn't know how to deal with it. Like, maybe we should teach him how to deal with it better instead of trying to control him, which is what they end up trying to do. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on, man. I encourage it. It's a great read. It's a very long series, and each book is like 700, 800 pages, so it'll take up some time. But anyway, I just want to share that with you all and hope you guys have a good day. All right, love y'all. Bye.